Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, principal of Simply Improve Health, and I help people to train better and longer and have improved sleep and generally have better quality of life using simple plant-based products and simple techniques. It is boiling today, absolutely boiling. I think it's about 98 degrees or about 36 degrees, 37 degrees. It is very hot and I'm sweating to death and this light is hot. So I'm not going to be too long, but and it's actually quite appropriate for the subject I'm going to be talking about tonight, which is reducing the stress. Taking the strain out of taking the train to work every day. In this heat, the commute has been absolutely stupefying in terms of the heat, as you can see, and I'm sweating to death. Yes. So everything becomes a source of irritation when in so much heat. If I'm pretty lucky, I have air conditioned train lines that run by me, so I don't get too hot and bothered, and I can hang out during the day at home and then go out at night like a mole. But if you are absolutely required to go out to and from work in this heat, here's a few tips I'd like to share with you quickly before I melt before your eyes to tell you how you can best take the strain out of your commute. Now, the first thing is to note the good things that happened to you. Maybe somebody gave up their seat to you, or somebody paid for your coffee as you were going into work, or remember those, dwell on those rather than dwelling on somebody stepped on your foot, somebody grabbed the seat before you did. Damn it, I missed the train. The train's sitting in a station. That was my thing today. I had a meeting and it should have taken 25 minutes and it took about 45 because the train just kept stopping in between. But at least it was air conditioned, so I didn't mind. And I had my music, which is another tip. Use those headphones of yours to good use. I mean, some people may watch films. I happen to prefer to listen to music or audiobooks, and audiobooks that are helpful in some way, uplifting in some way, that teach me something that improves me as a person or improves me as an entrepreneur. So that's another tip. The other thing is just to excuse me, just to accept your feelings. And I'll give you a good example of that, because when you name it and claim it, then you can do something about it. As long as it's the invisible bogeyman in the room that you don't know what it is and you haven't named it, it's going to keep kicking your butt. So, but I can give you a real graphic example of that from my own experience. There was a few years ago, I was feeling this kind of weird pain in my side, and it wasn't quite pain, but it was discomfort. I guess that was the word. It was discomfort, and I couldn't understand why. And it was in the area of my spleen, about here. And I couldn't understand it. I said, I don't drink really. I don't eat things that should cause problems with my spleen. But energetically, the spleen represents anger. And I had to think about that. It's like, well, am I angry about something? And all of a sudden, this this thought came surging to the forefront, and it was like, yeah, damn it, I am angry. And as soon as I said that, I felt like an almost popping sensation in the area of my spleen, almost like a little rubber band had been snapped. And this funny sensation went away, and it was just another reminder that what we don't name and claim will find its way into your body and can become a cancer. It can become migraines. It can become all kinds of things. It can literally kill you. So name your feelings, claim them, whether you write them down, whether you just recite them in your head, whether when you get home, you scream them to the skies, whatever it takes. Name and claim your feelings, because if you don't, they will claim you and you won't like what they do. Another tip is to be in the moment instead of imagining some pie in the sky future or some impending disaster. Just be here, be now. Instead of letting your mind, like gerbils in a cage, running around on their little wheels, go around and round and round, creating scenarios that will probably never happen. Don't do that to yourself. Think something pleasant. Your favorite piece of music, that somebody that a good friend. Turn your thoughts away. Be more conscious of your thoughts. Be here, be now. Be present where you are, as much as possible. I can understand mentally wanting to escape, especially when you're pressed up against a whole lot of other sweaty people. I understand. But there is a happy medium. You can find a way to have that inner space that you need, even if you haven't got the outer space. So another tip that I'd like to share with you is to simply breathe. Breathe. It's necessary that you breathe. And it's just taking 3 deep breaths from the diaphragm. And if your shoulders are going up when you're breathing, you're not breathing from your diaphragm. To make sure you're breathing from the belly, place your hand gently on your belly. And if your hand isn't moving up and down while you're breathing, you're breathing from the chest rather than from the diaphragm. And just that extra bit of oxygen can make a huge, huge, huge difference. So I would encourage you, again, I can understand the realities of being on a crowded train in the morning or in the evening. What you can do to make that taking deep breaths a bit more pleasant, get something like maybe in the morning some peppermint or lemon essential oil and put 1 or 2 drops on a handkerchief or tissue and hold it close, not on your nose, but close to your nose, and breathe that in. The peppermint or lemon will energize you and give you more energy, make you more alert for work. Peppermint, though, avoid. If you have any kind of heart problems, it could overstimulate you. Or in the evening, if you want something to help you to wind down, try something like lavender or chamomile. Again, just 1 or 2 drops on a tissue and breathe, or handkerchief, and breathe in. It's just something to help distract the mind a bit from your from your surroundings. The other thing is to be kind to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. You're not going to get it right all the time. You're not going to be perfectly behaved all the time. People will get on your nerves. Hey, Jack, it's good that you've joined. It's nice to see you, as it were. But you just take that time to be compassionate towards yourself, because charity begins at home. And if you can't be kind to yourself, you certainly aren't going to be kind to anyone on your commute, because you're too frazzled and angry and upset and whatever else. So take that time to understand that people don't know what you're going through, and you don't know what other people are going through. So to start to be a bit more compassionate and understanding. Think about it. That mother that's struggling with the pushchair and the 3 kids, an elderly person, they're having their struggles too. They're struggling and dealing with things you don't even know about on top of that hot and sweaty commute. So just exercise a little bit more compassion, both towards yourself and towards others. And finally, it seems to be a simple thing to say, but to think positively. You will never gain a positive life by thinking negatively. It just doesn't work. Opposites, in this case, do not attract. If you want to live a positive life and be able to roll with the punches better, you have to develop a more positive attitude. And there's all kinds of things you can do. There are apps like Headspace that you can use to listen to, which are little snippets of 2 or 5 minutes, or maybe a little bit longer for certain things, that get you breathing and get you relaxing and focusing on other things. Again, I go back to my suggestion of audiobooks that can help with things like that. I mean, YouTube is probably full of stuff like that. So if you're on your mobile anyway, look up those things and help you to get into a better headspace so that you don't get so frazzled on that commute in the first place. So those are my 7 tips for taking the strain out of the train journey. I hope you found them useful. And if you try any of them, report back to me and let me know how you got on. Oh, the other thing is take plenty of water. In this heat, you really, really need to replace fluid greatly, and not juice, not soda, water. We are 97% water, not Coca-Cola. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, these few tips. Take them away and make use of them if you can. And thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them. I'm always happy to respond, or leave some emojis, some love hearts, and thumbs up, whatever you like. Thanks for listening and watching. Have a great evening and rest of the week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.